So we developed a laser projection device that displays construction plan with very high accuracy, so 1 millimeter accuracy, onto any surface of a construction project. So it's quite simple to operate. So it's a projector. I think we see it right next to me. It's a projector mounted on a tripod, very similar to a total station, I would say. So you have three main aspects of our product. We have the hardware, for which we are designers and manufacturers. We have a mobile application, and then we also have a web application. So the workflow goes as this. So basically, the contractors drag and drop their CAD file into our web application. As soon as it's shared with everyone into their profile, they can access to the job site and connect to their mobile device. They'll fetch their plans, and then they can work on offline or online depending on their project. And then they start connecting to the device and then control the device, and then they can start projecting. One of the big steps for us is the positioning process, right? Because we're not selling our tools exclusively to surveyors. So we're selling to plumbers, carpenters. So they don't necessarily have the knowledge of a surveyor to operate surveying equipments. So we have three ways to position our device. We have, as we call, control lines, control points, but also artifacts. And an artifact is basically everything that you have in the CAD file that is also in the reality, like an elevator shaft, a concrete column, whatsoever you have in the field that you can position to. You can position your device. Of course, the types of elements you will choose for your positioning may impact your overall accuracy afterwards. But in all cases, will always be 1 to 3 millimeters accurate to your reference points or reference lines all the time. You're positioned, then you can start rotating, choosing your angle of projection. Then you press projection, and at the moment you project, just before there's a scanning process that happens, we scan the surface you need to have so that we can measure deflection of the floor or the ceilings or the wall. Then we correct the data without the user knowing. And then what we project is fully accurate. So this is how it goes. Then you rotate your machine to the next orientation. You complete an entire donut. And as soon as you've completed your donut, then you move your station to the next station and you repeat until your job's done.
You know, when you talk about positioning, the early positioning for non-surveyors really happened with like scanning, where they would give us these spheres because the scanner could read a sphere in a circle and could figure out where the point was in the center of it and kind of lock in. And that was necessary because of the changing nature of the job site. Have you found with the artifacts, because this is the first time I've heard somebody using artifacts of, with their product. Have you found that being something that people gravitate towards, or are they still gravitating towards more the survey style of locating your device on their job?
It highly depends on the types of structures that we see on the project. Like we have some project in Europe right now. They use a lot of concrete, right? And in every apartment, there's a concrete walls, and then they just point into the concrete walls to position quickly. They don't need to have control lines and control points within every unit, right? So for them, it's very easy. Well, as for North America, we mostly have open decks, so you would have control lines or control points. So this is what people would use most of the time. So it highly depends on your type of construction. I would say that most of our customers right now use control lines and artifacts. And then in the MEP space, it's mostly control lines and control points that contractors are using.
One other thing that I thought was really juicy that doesn't happen a lot is you talked about projecting up. I have seen ones that project on walls. I haven't seen a lot that project accurately on decks above. The below, it's no big deal. Above, it's problematic in some ways. Are you seeing that catch on with the people that are currently using it? Is that a common thing to project up to get, whether it's hanger locations or light locations or attachers?
Yeah, exactly. And so yes, projecting up is one of a huge feature, and we have two types of customers that we use ceiling projection. So we have BIM contractors, and then we have non-BIM contractors, right? And they would use the product a little bit differently. So non-BIM contractors, they would just project the entire dock, and then through their experience, they know where to position the anchors and so on and so forth, and they can move on. Whereas for a BIM project, it will just extract all their point data similar to a total station, and it will just project the anchors. But we can add a level of detail that is additional to total station. So we project across, that is the point location or the hanger location, but we can also project the anchor ID or even like the anchor depth, and so there's multiple details that we can add on that at the end saves times for the installation of the anchors. And that's the core goal, is to remove completely marking and then use the projection to install materials right away.